Chosen ones, God can't keep this secret from you anymore because it's going to happen, and it's happening soon. On September 19th, a divine shift is coming your way, a moment so powerful it will rewrite the story of your life. You've been chosen for something extraordinary, a purpose so big it's been hidden even from you until now. God has been preparing you, shaping you, guiding you through every storm, every doubt, every moment you thought you couldn't go on. And now, the heavens are aligning to reveal what's been destined for you all along. This isn't just a promise, it's a divine guarantee, and you're standing on the edge of it. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet knowing deep in your soul, that whisper telling you something bigger is coming. It's not your imagination. It's God speaking, confirming that you're not ordinary. You're a chosen one, handpicked for a mission that's about to unfold. The struggles you've faced, the tears you've shed, the nights you wondered why life felt so heavy, they weren't random. They were forging you, refining you, making you ready for this moment. God has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail. And now He's ready to pull back the curtain. Your life is about to become a living testament to His power. Pause for a second and let this sink in. You're not here by accident. The fact that you're hearing this right now means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. God's timing is perfect, and He's chosen this moment to reveal what's next. If you feel this truth stirring in your spirit, I invite you to declare it. Type 777 inches the comments below. That number carries divine energy, a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive what God has prepared. And if this message is speaking to you, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path together. Your action amplifies this energy, connecting you to the breakthrough that's coming. Think about the weight you've carried, the moments you felt alone, misunderstood, or stuck. Those weren't punishments, they were preparation. God was building your strength, teaching you to stand firm when the world tried to shake you. Every challenge was a stepping stone, every setback a setup for something greater. You're not defined by what tried to break you, but by how you rose above it. And now, chosen one, the secret God's been holding is this: your breakthrough isn't just near, it's inevitable. On September 19th, expect a shift that will change how you see yourself, your purpose, and your future. Picture a seed buried in the dark, pressed down by soil, unseen and forgotten. It doesn't look like much, does it? But beneath the surface, it's growing, breaking through, reaching for light. That's you. The world may not see your full potential yet, but God does. He's been nurturing you, watering you with faith, strengthening you with hope. And now, the ground is about to split open. Your season of blooming is here. The secret He's revealing isn't just about blessings, it's about you stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be. What does this look like? It's not just money, though provision is coming. It's not just health, though healing is on its way. It's a total transformation: mind, body, spirit, and purpose. You'll feel a fire in your soul, a clarity you've never known. Doors that were locked will swing open. People who overlooked you will suddenly see you in a new light. Your confidence will grow, not from pride, but from knowing God has marked you for greatness. This is what happens when the Creator of the universe decides to reveal His plan for one of His chosen. If this is resonating, type 777 inches, the comments. Let the heavens know you're ready. You're not just hoping for a miracle, you're claiming it. God's secret is no longer hidden because you're stepping into the truth of your calling. The Bible says in Jeremiah 33:3, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." That's what's happening right now. God is answering, revealing things you couldn't have imagined. Stay with me, because this message is for you, and the more you lean in, the clearer it will become. Let's talk about timing. You've wondered why things haven't happened yet, why you've had to wait, why the answers haven't come. But God's timing isn't your timing. He's not late. He's precise. Every moment you've spent waiting has been a moment of preparation. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery, thrown into prison, forgotten by those he helped. It looked like his dream was dead, but God was working. Every trial was shaping him for the palace. On September 19th, your palace moment is coming. A divine appointment where God's plan clicks into place. You might be thinking, why me? Why now? Because you're not ordinary, chosen one. God doesn't choose randomly. He saw something in you before you were born, a spark of his divine light. Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Your life has always been part of his plan. The secret he's revealing is that you're ready to step into the purpose he's been preparing you for. The world needs your light, and God's about to make sure it shines brighter than ever. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, the current strong and steady. You've been on the bank, watching, waiting, wondering when you'll cross. September 19th is when you step in. The waters won't overwhelm you, they'll carry you. God's provision is like that river, endless and flowing, ready to take you to places you never thought possible. This isn't about chasing wealth or fame, it's about stepping into a life of purpose where everything you need flows to you. Your job is to trust, to step forward, to let God lead. If you're feeling this, type 777 inches the comments one more time. Declare that you're ready for what's coming. This isn't just a moment, it's a movement. God's secret is out, and it's about you becoming who he always knew you could be. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones stepping into their divine destiny. Your action sends a signal that you're all in, ready for the transformation God's about to unleash. Now, let's get real. You've faced moments where the world tried to dim your light. People doubted you, circumstances pressed against you, maybe even your own thoughts tried to pull you down. But here's the truth. None of that defines you. God does. The secret he's revealing is that those battles were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal your strength. Like gold tested in fire, you've come out stronger, purer, ready for what's next. September 19th is when the world starts to see what God's always known. Think of David, a shepherd boy facing a giant. The odds were against him, but God's favor was with him. That sling and stone weren't just weapons, they were symbols of trust in a God who makes the impossible possible. Your giants, whatever they are, fear, lack, doubt, are about to fall. God's secret is that he's been equipping you all along. Every prayer, every tear, every step of faith has been building you for this moment. You're not just surviving, you're about to thrive. This revelation isn't just about you feeling good. It's about you stepping into a purpose that changes everything. God's plan for you includes abundance, not because you deserve it, but because he's faithful. Deuteronomy 28:12 says, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands." That's not maybe, it's a promise. On September 19th, expect the heavens to open. Expect provision, clarity, and opportunities to flood your life. You might be wondering what you need to do to prepare. It's simple. Trust. Let go of the need to control. The fear of what's next, the doubt that it's too good to be true. God's secret is that you're already enough. You don't need to earn this, you just need to receive it. Type 777 inches, the comments, if you're ready to let go and let God move. This is your moment to step into the flow of His plan, to let His promises wash over you like a river. Picture a door, heavy and ancient, standing before you. It's been locked for years, but now you hear the sound of it creaking open. That's what's happening in your life. God's unlocking doors you didn't even know existed. Opportunities, connections, blessings, they're all waiting on the other side. September 19th is when you walk through. You don't need to force it. You just need to step forward. God's already cleared the way. Your life is about to become a testimony. People will look at you and wonder what changed. They'll see peace where there was chaos, strength where there was struggle, joy where there was pain. This isn't about proving anything to anyone, it's about living the truth of who you are. God's secret is that you were always meant for this. The world may have tried to keep you small, but God's calling you to rise. You're not just a person, you're a chosen one, marked for a purpose that's about to unfold. Let's talk about what's coming. It's not just a moment, it's a season of overflow, where what you've sown in faith starts to bear fruit. You've planted seeds in tears, in prayer, in perseverance. Now, the harvest is here. Galatians 6-9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." You didn't give up, chosen one. That's why God's ready to show you what He's been holding for you. This isn't about chasing fleeting things like money or status. It's about stepping into a life where you're aligned with God's will. When you're in that place, everything else follows. Provision flows, relationships heal, purpose becomes clear. You'll wake up each day knowing you're walking in what God designed for you. That's the secret He can't keep anymore, because it's time for you to live it. Imagine waking up on September 19th, feeling a shift in your spirit. You can't explain it, but you know something's different. That's God's hand moving, aligning things in your favor. It might be a phone call, an opportunity, a moment of clarity that changes everything. Or it might be a quiet knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Either way, it's real, and it's coming. God's not holding back anymore. He's pouring out His plan for you. You've been through the fire, chosen one, but you're not burned. You've walked through valleys, but you're not stuck. Every step has brought you closer to this moment. God's secret is that He's been with you all along, turning every trial into a triumph. Now, He's ready to show the world what He's been building in you. Your life is about to become a beacon, a light that others can't ignore. Stay ready, because September 19th is just the beginning. This isn't about hype or empty promises. It's about truth. God's word never fails, and His plan for you is unfolding right now. You don't need to understand every detail. You just need to trust the one who holds them. Psalm 37:5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act." That's your call today. Commit, trust, and watch Him move. The secret's out, and it's all about you stepping into the life He's prepared. Let's pause and reflect. You're not the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, even a day ago. God's been working, reshaping you, preparing you for what's next. Every moment of doubt, every prayer whispered in the dark, every time you chose faith over fear, it's all led to this. September 19th isn't just a date, it's a marker, a divine signal that your season of waiting is shifting to a season of receiving. God's ready to show you what He's been holding. You might feel a stirring right now, a sense that something's about to break open. That's not a coincidence, it's God confirming his promise. You're standing at a threshold, chosen one. The secret he's revealing is that you're ready to cross it, not because you've earned it, but because he's faithful. Your life is about to reflect his glory in ways you never imagined. Stay with me, because this is only the beginning of what God's about to do. Picture a tapestry woven with threads of every moment you've lived, every joy, every pain, every victory, every loss. God's the master weaver, and he's been crafting something beautiful. On September 19th, you'll start to see the pattern. The secret he's revealing is that every thread had a purpose. Nothing was wasted. Your life is a masterpiece, and God's about to show it to the world. You're not just chosen, you're called to shine. This moment is yours, chosen one. God's not keeping this secret anymore because you're ready to live it. The heavens are opening, the doors are unlocking, and your purpose is coming into focus. September 19th is when it starts. But it's not the end, it's the beginning of a life aligned with God's plan. Trust him, step forward, and watch what he does. The world's about to see the chosen one you've always been. You've been walking a path that's felt narrow at times, chosen one, like a tightrope stretched across a vast unknown. Every step required balance, faith, and a courage you didn't always know you had. But God's secret, the one he's revealing now, is that this path was never meant to confine you. It was meant to lead you to a wide open place. On September 19th, the horizon expands. You're stepping into a space where limitations fall away, where the dreams you've held in your heart start to take shape in ways that will leave you in awe. Think of a bird in a cage, wings clipped, yearning for the sky. That's been you in moments of doubt, moments when the world told you to stay small. But God's been working, strengthening those wings, unlocking the cage. The secret he's sharing is that you were never meant to stay grounded. Your spirit was made to soar, and now the sky is yours. This isn't about escaping, it's about claiming the freedom God's always intended for you. September 19th marks the moment you take flight. You've carried burdens that weren't yours to bear, expectations from others, fears you picked up along the way, maybe even guilt from choices long past. But here's what God's revealing. Those weights are not your destiny. He's lifting them one by one, setting you free to run toward what's ahead. Isaiah 40:31 says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary." That's you, chosen one, running toward a future unburdened by the past. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, the wind carrying away every doubt, every fear. You look out and see a landscape of possibilities, new relationships, new opportunities, a new sense of who you are. That's what God's preparing for you. The secret he's unveiling is that you're not just a survivor of the climb, you're a conqueror of the summit. September 19th is when you plant your flag, claiming the ground God's given you. The view from here is breathtaking, and it's only the beginning. You've been in seasons where you felt invisible, like your efforts went unnoticed, your prayers unanswered. But God's secret is that he's seen every moment, every sacrifice, every act of faith. Every time you chose to keep going, he's recorded it all. Hebrews 6:10 says, "God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him." On September 19th, expect recognition, not from the world, but from the one who matters most. Your faithfulness is about to be rewarded. Picture a riverbed, dry and cracked, waiting for rain. You've been that riverbed, longing for a breakthrough, wondering when the drought would end. God's secret is that the rain is coming. Not a drizzle, but a flood, an overflow of provision, clarity, and purpose. Your life is about to flow with abundance, nourishing everything it touches. This isn't just about you, it's about the lives you'll impact, the legacy you'll build. September 19th is when the waters start to rise. You've faced moments where you questioned your worth, where the mirror showed you someone less than who God says you are. But the secret He's revealing is that you've always been enough, not because of what you do, but because of who He created you to be. Ephesians 2:10 says, "We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." You're His masterpiece, chosen one, and on September 19th, the world starts to see it too. Think of a lighthouse standing firm against crashing waves. That's you, in the storms of life unshaken, a beacon for others. God's secret is that your light isn't just for you. It's meant to guide those lost in the dark, to show them the way to safety. Your story, your strength, your faith, they're about to become a testimony that changes lives. On September 19th, expect to shine brighter than ever, drawing others to the hope you carry. You've walked through moments of silence where God seemed distant, where answers didn't come. But the secret He's sharing now is that He was never far. Every quiet moment was Him working, aligning, preparing. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." That stillness wasn't emptiness, it was divine strategy. On September 19th, the silence breaks, and you'll hear His voice loud and clear, guiding you into what's next. Imagine a puzzle, pieces scattered, incomplete. That's how life can feel sometimes, disjointed, unclear. But God's the master artist, and He's been placing every piece with purpose. The secret He's revealing is that the picture is almost complete. On September 19th, you'll start to see how everything fits, every trial, every triumph, every moment of waiting. The image is beautiful, chosen one, and it's the story of you stepping into God's perfect plan. You've carried dreams that felt too big, too impossible. Maybe you set them aside, thinking they weren't meant for you. But God's secret is that those dreams were His all along. He planted them in your heart, knowing you'd be ready one day. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." That time is now. September 19th is when those dreams start to take root, growing into realities you never thought possible. Picture a garden, tended with care, each seed planted with intention. You've been sowing through prayers, through perseverance, through faith in the unseen. God's secret is that the harvest is ready, not just a small yield, but an abundance that overflows. On September 19th, you'll start to see the fruit of your labor, blessings that spill over into every area of your life, from relationships to finances to purpose. This is your season of reaping. You've faced rejection, moments when doors slammed shut, when people turned away. But God's secret is that those closed doors were His protection, His redirection. He's been guiding you to the right ones, the ones meant for you. Revelation 3:8 says, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." On September 19th, those doors appear opportunities, connections, possibilities that align perfectly with God's plan for you. Imagine a flame, small but steady, burning through the darkest night. That's your faith, chosen one, unextinguished by life's storms. God's secret is that this flame is about to roar into a fire. It's not just about survival, it's about impact. Your faith will ignite change, not just in you, but in those around you. On September 19th, expect that fire to spread, lighting up paths for others, showing them what's possible when you trust God. You've had moments where you felt stuck, like you were circling the same mountain, facing the same battles. But the secret God's revealing is that you're not circling, you're climbing. Every step has brought you higher, closer to the peak. Deuteronomy 2-3 says, "You have circled this mountain long enough. Now turn north." September 19th is your turn north. A shift toward new territory, new victories. A new chapter written by God's hand. Picture a book, its pages filled with your story, every chapter, every twist, every moment of growth. God's the author, and He's been writing a masterpiece. The secret He's sharing is that you're entering a new chapter, one where the plot shifts from struggle to triumph. On September 19th, the pages turn, revealing a story of abundance, purpose, and joy. You're not just reading this story, you're living it, and the world's about to see the next part. You've carried questions, wondering why certain things happened, why certain prayers went unanswered. But God's secret is that every unanswered prayer was an answered purpose. He's been shaping you, aligning you, preparing you for something bigger than you could ask for. Ephesians 3:20 says, "God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine." On September 19th, expect the immeasurably more to start unfolding in ways that will leave you speechless. Imagine a bridge stretching across a chasm, connecting where you are to where you're meant to be. You've been walking toward it, step by step, even when the path felt unclear. God's secret is that the bridge is complete, and you're ready to cross. On September 19th, you take those steps, moving from uncertainty to clarity, from waiting to receiving. The other side holds everything God's promised: abundance, peace, and a purpose that changes everything. You've faced moments where the world tried to define you, to box you in with labels or limits. But God's secret is that you're not what the world says, you're what He says. You're chosen, called, destined for greatness. 1 Peter 2-9 says, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." On September 19th, you start living that truth, walking in the authority of who God created you to be. Picture a sunrise breaking through the darkest night, painting the sky with hope. That's what's coming for you, chosen one, a new day, a new beginning. God's secret is that the night is over. The struggles, the doubts, the fears, they're fading in the light of His plan. On September 19th, the sun rises on your life, illuminating paths you couldn't see before, revealing blessings you didn't know were there. This is your moment to step into the light. You've stood in places where the ground felt unsteady, chosen one, where every step tested your resolve. The winds of doubt, the tremors of fear, they tried to shake you, but you held firm. God's secret, the one He's unveiling now, is that your steadfastness wasn't just survival. It was preparation for a foundation that cannot be moved. On September 19th, you'll feel the ground beneath you solidify, a bedrock of divine purpose that holds you steady for the incredible things God's about to do. Imagine a tree, roots deep in the earth, unmoved by storms. That's you, rooted in faith, anchored by God's promises. The secret He's sharing is that your roots have grown stronger than you know. Every trial, every moment you chose to trust, has deepened your connection to Him. Now, on September 19th, the branches of your life begin to bear fruit, abundance, clarity, opportunities that reflect the strength of your foundation. You're not just standing, you're thriving. You've walked through seasons where the path was hidden, where fog clouded your way. But God's secret is that He's been your guide all along, leading you even when you couldn't see. Isaiah 42:16 says, I will lead the blind by ways they have not known. Along unfamiliar paths I will guide them. On September 19th, the fog lifts and the path becomes clear. You'll see where you're going, and it's a destination filled with God's promises. Picture a dam holding back a mighty river, its power waiting to be released. You've been that dam, holding faith in your heart, waiting for the moment to let it flow. God's secret is that the time is now. On September 19th, the floodgates open, and what you've held in faith, your prayers, your hopes, your dreams, pours out in a rush of blessings. This isn't just a trickle. It's an overflow that changes everything it touches. You've had moments where you felt small, like your efforts didn't matter, like the world overlooked you. But God's secret is that you were never small in His eyes. He's been watching, shaping, preparing you for a stage only He could build. Zephaniah 3:17 says, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you." On September 19th, you step into that spotlight where God's delight in you becomes visible to all. Think of a symphony, each note played in perfect time, building to a crescendo. Your life has been those notes, moments of struggle, moments of joy, moments of waiting, all orchestrated by God. The secret He's revealing is that the crescendo is coming. On September 19th, the music swells, and your life becomes a melody of purpose, provision, and peace that others can't help but hear. You're not just part of the song, you're the masterpiece. You've carried scars, marks from battles you fought in silence, wounds from losses you didn't share. But God's secret is that those scars are not signs of weakness, they're badges of victory. Each one tells a story of how you overcame, how you chose faith over despair. On September 19th, those scars become a testimony, shining with the light of God's healing, showing the world what it means to rise again. Imagine a key, ancient and intricate, fitting perfectly into a lock you didn't even know existed. That's what God's been crafting in you, a key to unlock doors of destiny. The secret He's sharing is that you're ready to turn it. On September 19th, you'll open doors to new possibilities, new connections, new chapters that align with God's plan. These aren't random opportunities, they're divine appointments, set by the one who knows your name. You've faced moments where the world tried to drown out your voice, where your dreams felt silenced. But God's secret is that your voice was never lost. It was being amplified. He's been preparing you to speak, to create, to lead in ways that echo His truth. On September 19th, your voice rings out, clear and strong, reaching hearts you never imagined. This is your moment to be heard, chosen one, and the world is listening. Picture a ship sailing through stormy seas, battered but unbroken. That's been your journey, navigating waves of doubt, winds of criticism, currents of fear. God's secret is that you're nearing calm waters. On September 19th, the storm subsides, and you sail into a season of peace, where the winds are in your favor and the horizon is bright. You're not just surviving the journey, you're arriving at your destination. You've had times when you felt alone, like no one understood your path. But God's secret is that you were never alone. He's been walking with you, every step. Psalm 23:4 says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." On September 19th, you'll feel His presence stronger than ever, a reminder that He's been there all along, guiding you to this moment of breakthrough. Imagine a canvas, blank at first, now filled with vibrant colors, each stroke telling a story. Your life is that canvas, and God's the artist. The secret He's revealing is that the painting is far from finished. New colors, new shapes, new beauty are coming. On September 19th, you'll see the next strokes, moments of clarity and joy that add depth to your story. This is your life, chosen one, and it's becoming a work of art. You've carried hopes that felt fragile, like they might shatter under life's weight. But God's secret is that those hopes were never weak. They were seeds He planted, ready to grow. On September 19th, those seeds break through, sprouting into realities that surpass your expectations. Ecclesiastes 11:6 says, "Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle." You've sown faithfully, and now the harvest begins. Think of a clock, ticking steadily, each second bringing you closer to a moment you can't yet see. God's secret is that the time is near. Every tick, every trial, every moment of waiting has been leading to September 19th, when the clock strikes a new hour. This is when things shift, opportunities align, answers arrive, and your purpose comes into focus. You're not chasing time anymore, it's working for you. You've faced moments where you wondered if your faith was enough, if your prayers mattered. But God's secret is that your faith has moved mountains you haven't even seen yet. Matthew 17:20 says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move,' and it will move." On September 19th, you'll see those mountains shift, making way for the path God's prepared. Your faith wasn't small, it was mighty. Picture a flame in a lantern, glowing softly in the dark, guiding you through the night. That's your spirit, chosen one, carrying God's light even when the world felt heavy. The secret He's sharing is that this light is about to blaze. On September 19th, your lantern becomes a beacon, not just for you, but for others lost in the dark. Your life will shine with purpose, drawing those who need hope to the truth you carry. You've walked through moments of uncertainty where the next step wasn't clear, but God's secret is that He's been your compass, pointing you true north. Every detour, every pause, every moment of wondering was part of His map. On September 19th, the direction becomes clear. New paths open, new possibilities emerge, and you walk with confidence, knowing God's guiding every step. Imagine a tapestry woven with threads of every choice you've made, every prayer you've prayed. God's secret is that this tapestry is a masterpiece, and He's adding new threads, bright, bold, beautiful. On September 19th, you'll see the pattern take shape, revealing a story of redemption, purpose, and joy. Your life isn't random, it's a divine design, and the world's about to see its beauty. You've carried questions about your purpose, wondering why you're here, what you're meant to do. But God's secret is that your purpose isn't something you find, it's something He reveals. On September 19th, that revelation begins, unfolding like a scroll, showing you the role you were born to play. Jeremiah 1-5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This is your moment to step into that calling. Think of a river carving its way through stone, unstoppable, shaping the earth as it flows. That's your life, chosen one, cutting through obstacles with quiet strength. God's secret is that your journey is reshaping the world around you. On September 19th, the river widens, carrying you into new territories, places of influence, impact, and abundance. You're not just flowing, you're transforming everything in your path. You've stood at crossroads, chosen one, where the world offered you paths that didn't feel right, where choices seemed to pull you away from your truth. God's secret, the one He's unveiling now, is that those crossroads were never about confusion, they were about clarity. Each decision you made, each time you chose faith over fear, led you closer to His plan. On September 19th, the right path lights up, guiding you to a future where every step feels certain, every choice aligned with your divine purpose. Imagine a mosaic, pieces of broken glass transformed into a stunning work of art. That's your life, every fragment of pain, every shard of struggle, carefully placed by God's hand. The secret he's sharing is that the mosaic is taking shape, its beauty emerging with every piece. On September 19th, new colors appear, moments of joy, provision, and connection that make the picture whole. Your story isn't broken, it's a masterpiece, and the world will soon see its brilliance. You've carried moments of waiting, where time seemed to stretch endlessly, where answers felt just out of reach. But God's secret is that the waiting wasn't wasted. It was sacred. Every second was shaping you, preparing you for what's coming. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." On September 19th, the wait ends, and the promises you've held on to begin to unfold, revealing a future brighter than you imagined. Picture a flame in a storm, flickering but never going out, its light cutting through the chaos. That's your spirit, chosen one, holding steady against life's tempests. God's secret is that this flame is about to grow, not just to survive, but to illuminate. On September 19th, your light becomes a fire, warming those around you, guiding them to hope. You're not just enduring, you're becoming a source of inspiration, a beacon of God's grace. You've faced moments where the world tried to define your limits, telling you what you could or couldn't do. But God's secret is that your potential was never bound by their rules. It's written in His promises. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." On September 19th, those plans come into focus, showing you a life where limits fall away and possibilities stretch as far as the horizon. Think of a seed breaking through concrete, defying the odds to reach the sunday. That's you, pushing through barriers, growing where others said you couldn't. The secret God's revealing is that your strength is unstoppable. Every obstacle you faced has only made you stronger, more resilient. On September 19th, you break through completely, standing tall in a season of growth that transforms your life and touches those around you. You've walked through moments where your heart felt heavy, where the weight of the world pressed down. But God's secret is that those burdens were never meant to crush you. They were meant to lift you higher. Isaiah 40:29 says, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." On September 19th, you feel that strength, a divine energy that lifts you above the weight, carrying you into a season of lightness and joy. Imagine a river finding its course, flowing around rocks, carving new paths through the earth. That's your journey, chosen one, adapting, moving forward, never stopped by obstacles. God's secret is that the river of your life is about to widen, carrying you to places of abundance and purpose. On September 19th, the current strengthens, sweeping you toward opportunities that align perfectly with God's design for you. You've had times when you felt unseen, like your efforts faded into the background. But God's secret is that He's been watching every moment, collecting every tear, honoring every prayer. Psalm 56:8 says, "You have kept count of my tossings. Put my tears in your bottle." On September 19th, those tears turn to joy as God reveals the rewards He's been holding for you, blessings that make every unseen moment worth it. Picture a bridge being built, stone by stone, spanning a gap you thought uncrossable. That's what God's been doing in your life, connecting where you are to where you're meant to be. The secret He's sharing is that the bridge is nearly complete. On September 19th, you take your first steps across, moving toward a future filled with promise, purpose, and provision. Each stone is a testament to your faith, and the path ahead is yours to walk. You faced doubts that whispered you weren't enough, that your dreams were too big, your purpose too far. But God's secret is that you were always enough, chosen, equipped, destined for greatness. Ephesians 1-4 says, "He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His sight." On September 19th, you step into that truth, living as the chosen one God created, with confidence that radiates His glory. Think of a star hidden by clouds, its light waiting to break through. That's your potential, chosen one, always there, even when obscured. God's secret is that the clouds are parting. On September 19th, your light shines clear, visible to all, drawing opportunities and connections that align with your purpose. You're not just a star, you're a constellation, a pattern of divine design that inspires others to shine. You've carried moments of silence where God's voice seemed faint, where you wondered if He heard you. But the secret He's revealing is that His silence was never absence, it was focus. He was working, aligning, preparing you for this moment. Psalm 62-5 says, "Yes, my soul, find rest in God. My hope comes from Him." On September 19th, His voice breaks through, guiding you into a season where hope becomes reality. Imagine a garden in bloom, flowers opening to the sun after a long winter. That's your life, chosen one, ready to burst with color after seasons of waiting. God's secret is that your bloom is here. On September 19th, the petals unfold, new opportunities, new relationships, new strength that reflect the beauty God's been cultivating in you. This isn't just growth. It's a transformation that changes how the world sees you. You've walked through moments where you felt stretched, like life was pulling you in every direction. But God's secret is that the stretching was strengthening, preparing you to hold more blessings, more purpose, more impact. Isaiah 54:2 says, "Enlarge the place of your tent, stretch your tent curtains wide." On September 19th, your capacity expands, and you step into a season where you can carry all God has for you. Picture a wave, building in the ocean, gathering strength before it crashes ashore. That's your momentum, chosen one, growing stronger with every step of faith. God's secret is that the wave is about to break. On September 19th, it crashes, bringing a surge of provision, clarity, and opportunities that sweep away doubt and carry you forward. You're not just riding the wave, you're shaping the shore. You faced moments where the world tried to steal your joy, where challenges dimmed your smile. But God's secret is that your joy was never lost, it was being refined. Nehemiah 8:10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." On September 19th, that joy returns, stronger than ever, fueling you for the journey ahead. It's not just happiness, it's a divine strength that radiates from within, drawing others to your light. Think of a clock tower, its hands moving steadily, marking the moment when everything changes. That's your life, ticking toward a divine appointment. God's secret is that the hour is near. On September 19th, the chimes ring out, announcing a new season of breakthroughs, connections, and purpose. You're not waiting for the moment anymore. It's here, and it's calling you to step forward. You've carried dreams that felt distant, like stars too far to touch. But God's secret is that those stars are closer than you think. He's been aligning them, positioning them within your reach. On September 19th, you'll touch those stars, dreams becoming reality, goals taking shape, purpose coming alive. Habakkuk 2-3 says, "The revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Your time is now. Imagine a door, not locked but sealed with promise, waiting for the moment you're ready to walk through. That's what God's been preparing. Chosen one, a threshold to a life of abundance. The secret He's revealing is that you're ready. On September 19th, the seal breaks, and you step into a season where every promise, every prayer, every hope aligns with God's plan. You're not just crossing a threshold, you're entering your destiny. You've walked through moments where the weight of expectations pressed hard. Chosen one, where the world demanded you fit its mold. God's secret, the one He's unveiling now, is that you were never meant to conform. You were created to transform. Every time you chose your truth over their rules, you were carving out space for something greater. On September 19th, that space fills with divine purpose. A calling so unique, it redefines how you move through the world. Picture a lantern in the fog, its glow cutting through the haze, guiding you forward. That's your faith, steady and unshaken, even when the way was unclear. The secret God's sharing is that your light has been leading you all along, not just to safety, but to destiny. On September 19th, the fog clears, and your path shines bright opportunities, connections, and moments of clarity that align perfectly with God's plan for you. You've faced seasons where your efforts felt like whispers in the wind, unnoticed, unheard. But God's secret is that every whisper reached His ears. He's been collecting your prayers, your work, your quiet acts of faith. Psalm 34:15 says, "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their cry." On September 19th, those whispers become a shout, answered with blessings that echo through your life and beyond. Imagine a river carving through a canyon, its strength shaping the earth over time. That's your resilience, chosen one, quietly powerful, reshaping your world with every step. God's secret is that your journey is creating something, enduring a legacy of faith and impact. On September 19th, the canyon widens, revealing a landscape of provision and purpose that others will see and be inspired by. You've had moments where doubt crept in, whispering that your dreams were too big, your purpose too far. But God's secret is that those dreams were His vision for you, planted deep in your soul. Jeremiah 32:27 says, "I am the Lord, the God of all mankind. Is anything too hard for me?" On September 19th, you'll see the answer, no. Your dreams take root, growing into realities that defy every doubt. Think of a tapestry, its threads woven with care, each one telling a story of struggle and triumph. Your life is that tapestry, and God's the master weaver. The secret He's revealing is that new threads are being added, bold, vibrant, full of promise. On September 19th, the pattern shifts, showing a design of abundance and purpose that reflects His glory in every detail of your life. You've carried moments of loneliness, where the path felt solitary, where connection seemed out of reach. But God's secret is that you were never alone. He was building a community around you. On September 19th, divine connections appear. People who see your light, who align with your purpose. Ecclesiastes 4:12 says, "A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken." You're about to find your strands, chosen one. Picture a seed buried deep, waiting for the right moment to break through. That's your potential, held in God's hands, ready to bloom. The secret He's sharing is that the soil is ready. The season is now. On September 19th, you push through the surface, sprouting into a life of growth and impact. Your potential isn't hidden anymore, it's visible, vibrant, and ready to change the world. You've faced moments where the world tried to steal your peace, where chaos threatened to overwhelm, but God's secret is that your peace is untouchable, rooted in Him. John 16:33 says, "In me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." On September 19th, that peace becomes your strength, a calm that carries you through every storm into a season of victory. Imagine a clock, its hands moving toward a moment you've been waiting for. Your life has been those ticks, each one counting down to God's perfect timing. The secret He's revealing is that the hour is near. On September 19th, the clock strikes, and a new season begins, filled with breakthroughs, clarity, and opportunities that align with your divine calling. You're not chasing time, it's bringing you to your moment. You've walked through moments where your strength felt tested, where giving up seemed easier than going on. But God's secret is that your endurance was never in vain. It was building a foundation for greatness. On September 19th, that foundation holds firm, supporting a life of purpose and abundance. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." You're ready to stand tall. Think of a phoenix rising from ashes, its wings blazing with new life. That's you, chosen one, reborn from every trial, stronger and brighter. God's secret is that your rising is just beginning. On September 19th, you soar higher, your life a testament to His power to renew and restore. The ashes of your past are gone. What remains is a fire that lights up the world. You've carried questions about your worth, wondering if you're enough for the calling on your life. But God's secret is that you were chosen before time began, equipped for every task He's set before you. Ephesians 2:10 says, "We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works." On September 19th, you step into that truth, living as the masterpiece He designed, ready to fulfill your purpose. Picture a lighthouse, standing firm against crashing waves, its light guiding ships to safety. That's your presence, chosen one, a beacon in the storm. God's secret is that your light is about to shine brighter, reaching those lost in darkness. On September 19th, your influence grows, drawing others to the hope you carry, showing them what it means to stand firm in God's truth. You've faced moments where the world tried to dim your vision, where distractions clouded your focus. But God's secret is that your vision is clear, sharpened by His hand. On September 19th, you see with new clarity paths, opportunities, and purposes that were once hidden. Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Your way forward is clear, chosen one. Imagine a river, flowing strong, carrying life to everything it touches. That's your spirit, moving with purpose, nourishing the world around you. God's secret is that your flow is about to deepen, becoming a current of blessing and impact. On September 19th, that river surges, bringing provision, connections, and moments of joy that overflow into every part of your life. You've walked through seasons where your voice felt small, where your words seemed to fade. But God's secret is that your voice was always meant to echo. On September 19th, it rings out, carrying truth, inspiration, and power. Your words, your story, your faith, they're about to reach hearts you never imagined, becoming a sound that shifts the atmosphere. Think of a seed planted in rocky soil, pushing through with relentless strength. That's your journey, chosen one, growing where others said you couldn't. God's secret is that your growth is unstoppable. On September 19th, you break through the rocks, standing tall in a season of abundance and purpose. Your life becomes proof that nothing can stop God's plan. You've carried moments of uncertainty where the next step felt unclear, where trust was your only guide. But God's secret is that every step was leading you here to a moment of divine alignment. Psalm 37:23 says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him." On September 19th, your steps become sure, guiding you into a future filled with promise and possibility. Picture a sunrise, painting the sky with colors of hope, chasing away the night. That's your life, chosen one, ready to shine after seasons of darkness. God's secret is that your dawn is breaking. On September 19th, the light floods in, illuminating paths of purpose, provision, and joy. You're not just stepping into a new day, you're stepping into a new era, crafted by God's hand. You've faced moments where the world tried to box you in, chosen one, where expectations and doubts built walls around your heart. God's secret, the one He's unveiling now, is that those walls were never permanent. They were illusions, meant to crumble under the weight of His truth. On September 19th, those barriers fall, and you step into a wide-open space where your purpose unfolds without restraint, a life shaped by divine freedom. Imagine a compass, its needle steady, pointing true even in the wildest storm. That's your spirit, guided by God's hand, never lost, no matter how fierce the winds. The secret He's sharing is that your direction has always been clear to Him. On September 19th, you see it too, paths of opportunity, clarity, and provision that align with His plan. You're not wandering anymore. You're walking with purpose. You've carried moments of exhaustion where the journey felt too long, the load too heavy. But God's secret is that your strength was never yours alone. It was His, sustaining you through every step. Isaiah 40:28 says, "The Lord is the everlasting God. He gives strength to the weary." On September 19th, that strength surges, renewing you for a season of energy, impact, and breakthroughs that leave no room for weariness. Picture a tapestry stretched across a loom, its threads weaving a story only half told. Your life is that tapestry, each moment a thread in God's design. The secret He's revealing is that new patterns are emerging, bold, intricate, full of promise. On September 19th, the weave tightens, showing a picture of abundance and purpose that reflects His glory in every detail of your journey. You've walked through seasons where your light felt dim, where the world's noise drowned out your glow. But God's secret is that your light was never lost. It was waiting for its moment to shine. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." On September 19th, your light blazes, illuminating paths for others, a beacon of hope and truth. Think of a riverbed, once dry, now filling with a steady stream of life. That's your heart, chosen one, ready to overflow after seasons of drought. God's secret is that the waters are rising, bringing provision, healing, and joy. On September 19th, the stream becomes a flood, nourishing every part of your life. Relationships, dreams, purpose. You're not just surviving, you're overflowing with God's goodness. You've faced moments where your faith felt tested, where believing felt like holding onto a thread in the dark. But God's secret is that your faith was never weak. It was a fire burning strong beneath the surface. On September 19th, that fire roars to life, warming your spirit, igniting your purpose. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see." Your assurance is about to become reality. Imagine a door, not just unlocked but flung wide open, revealing a room filled with possibilities. That's what God's preparing for you, a space where His promises come alive. The secret He's sharing is that you're ready to step through. On September 19th, you cross that threshold, entering a season of opportunities, connections, and blessings that align perfectly with His plan for your life. You've carried moments of silence, where God's voice seemed distant, where you wondered if He was listening. But God's secret is that His silence was preparation, not absence. He was aligning things you couldn't see, setting the stage for your breakthrough. On September 19th, His voice breaks through, clear and strong, guiding you into a future where every step feels divinely ordered. Picture a seed, small and unassuming, yet holding the potential for a mighty tree. That's your calling, chosen one, planted by God, ready to grow. The secret He's revealing is that the soil is fertile, the time is right. On September 19th, you sprout, your purpose taking shape in ways that surprise even you. Your life becomes a testament to what happens when God plants a seed and calls it to life. You faced moments where the world tried to steal your joy, where challenges threatened to overshadow your hope. But God's secret is that your joy is rooted deeper than the world's reach. Nehemiah 8:10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." On September 19th, that joy surges, becoming a force that carries you through every trial, a light that draws others to your peace. Think of a clock, its hands moving toward a moment that changes everything. Your life has been those ticks, each one counting down to God's perfect timing. The secret He's sharing is that the hour is near. On September 19th, the chimes sound, announcing a season of breakthroughs, clarity, and purpose. You're not waiting anymore, you're stepping into the moment God's prepared. You've carried dreams that felt fragile, like they could shatter under life's weight. But God's secret is that those dreams were His promises, unbreakable in His hands. On September 19th, they begin to solidify, taking shape as realities you can touch. Psalm 37:4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Your desires are aligning with His will, and they're coming to life. Imagine a flame, steady in the wind, its glow untouched by the storm. That's your spirit, chosen one, resilient and radiant despite every challenge. God's secret is that this flame is about to grow, not just to light your path, but to guide others. On September 19th, your light spreads, becoming a beacon that draws people to the hope you carry, a testament to God's power in you. You've walked through moments where the world tried to define you, to limit you with its labels. But God's secret is that you're defined by Him alone, chosen, called, destined. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." On September 19th, you live that truth, stepping into the authority of who God created you to be, unshackled by the world's limits. Picture a river cutting through stone, its persistence shaping the earth over time. That's your faith, quietly powerful, carving a path through every obstacle. God's secret is that your persistence is about to pay off. On September 19th, the river widens, carrying you to new places, opportunities, relationships, purposes that reflect the strength you've built through every trial. You've faced moments where your voice felt small, where your story seemed unheard. But God's secret is that your voice was always meant to resonate. On September 19th, it echoes, reaching hearts, shifting perspectives, inspiring change. Your story, your faith, your journey becomes a sound that the world can't ignore, a testimony to God's work in your life. Think of a seed breaking through frozen ground, defying winter's grip to reach the Sunday. That's your resilience, chosen one. growing where others said you couldn't. God's secret is that your growth is unstoppable, rooted in His power. On September 19th, you bloom, your life a vibrant display of purpose and provision that proves nothing can hold back God's plan. You've carried moments of uncertainty, where the next step felt unclear, where trust was your only guide. But God's secret is that every step was leading you to a divine destination. Psalm 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." On September 19th, that light shines brighter, illuminating a path of clarity, opportunity, and purpose that feels like home. Imagine a sunrise, its rays piercing the night, bringing warmth to a world in shadow. That's your life, chosen one, ready to shine after seasons of darkness. God's secret is that your dawn is here. On September 19th, the light breaks through, revealing a season of joy, provision, and impact. You're not just stepping into a new day, you're stepping into a new chapter, written by God's hand. You've stood in moments where the world felt heavy, chosen one, where every step seemed to carry the weight of unseen battles. God's secret, the one He's unveiling now, is that those battles were forging you into a warrior, not for war, but for victory. Each struggle was a sharpening stone, honing your strength for a purpose greater than you knew. On September 19th, you step into that victory, carrying a strength that radiates God's power and reshapes the world around you. Picture a sail catching the wind, propelling a ship across uncharted waters. That's your spirit, ready to move with God's guidance, no matter how vast the sea. The secret He's sharing is that the winds are shifting in your favor. On September 19th, you sail into new horizons, opportunities, connections, and dreams that align with His plan. You're not drifting anymore. You're driven by a divine current, heading toward your destiny. You've faced times when your efforts felt scattered, like seeds thrown on rocky ground. But God's secret is that every seed you've sown in faith, in prayer, in perseverance has taken root. Mark 4:8 says, "Still other seed fell on good soil. It came up, grew and produced a crop, some multiplying 30, some 60, some 100 times." On September 19th, the harvest begins, yielding blessings that multiply beyond what you imagined. Imagine a cornerstone, solid and unyielding, anchoring a structure against the storm. That's you, chosen one, a foundation for God's work in the world. The secret He's revealing is that your stability is about to hold something magnificent. On September 19th, the structure rises: your purpose, your impact, your legacy built on the unshakable ground of His promises, visible to all who see you. You've walked through moments where doubt tried to cloud your vision, where the future seemed uncertain. But God's secret is that your clarity was never lost, it was being refined. On September 19th, your eyes opened to a vision sharper than ever, seeing paths, possibilities, and purposes that align with God's heart. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Your vision is here, and it's life-giving. Think of a melody, soft at first, growing into a song that fills the air. Your life is that melody, each note a moment of faith, struggle, and hope. God's secret is that the song is reaching its peak. On September 19th, it resounds, touching hearts, shifting atmospheres, and drawing others to the harmony of your purpose. You're not just singing, you're creating a sound that echoes God's glory. You've carried moments of waiting, where time seemed to stretch, where progress felt slow. But God's secret is that the waiting was building something eternal. Every moment was a brick in a foundation you couldn't yet see. On September 19th, the structure comes into view, a life of abundance, purpose, and impact that stands firm. Psalm 31-24 says, "Be strong and take heart, all you who hope in the Lord." Your hope is turning to sight. Picture a flame in a hearth, warming a home through the coldest night. That's your presence, chosen one, bringing light and comfort to those around you. God's secret is that your warmth is about to spread. On September 19th, your influence grows, touching lives with the heat of your faith, the glow of your purpose. You're not just a spark, you're a fire that brings life to others. You've faced moments where the world tried to silence your voice, where your story felt untold. But God's secret is that your voice was always meant to carry weight. On September 19th, it rings out, speaking truth, inspiring hope, and shifting perspectives. Your words, your journey, your faith, they become a force that the world can't ignore, a testament to God's power in you. Imagine a bridge spanning a chasm, its stones laid with care, connecting two distant shores. That's your life, chosen one, linking where you've been to where God's taking you. The secret he's sharing is that the bridge is complete. On September 19th, you cross over, stepping into a season of provision, clarity, and purpose. Each stone is a moment of faith, and the path ahead is yours to walk. You've carried dreams that felt distant, like stars too far to reach. But God's secret is that those stars were always within his grasp, placed there for you. On September 19th, you touch them, dreams becoming reality, goals taking shape. Psalm 20-4 says, "May he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed." Your plans are aligning with his, and they're coming to life. Think of a river, flowing steadily, carving paths through the earth. That's your resilience, moving forward despite every obstacle. God's secret is that your flow is about to deepen, carrying you to new places of impact and abundance. On September 19th, the river surges, bringing opportunities, relationships, and blessings that reflect the strength you've built through every trial. You've faced moments where your worth felt questioned, where the world tried to make you feel small. But God's secret is that you're a treasure, chosen and cherished by him. 1 Corinthians 6:20 says, "You were bought at a price." On September 19th, you live that truth, walking in the value God's placed on you, radiating a confidence that draws others to his love. Picture a seed breaking through stone, its strength defying the odds to reach the light. That's your spirit, chosen one, growing where others said you couldn't. God's secret is that your growth is unstoppable, rooted in his power. On September 19th, you rise higher, your life a vibrant display of purpose and provision that proves nothing can hold back God's plan. You've walked through moments where the world felt chaotic, where peace seemed out of reach. But God's secret is that your peace is anchored in him, unshaken by the storm. John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you." On September 19th, that peace becomes your strength, a calm that carries you into a season of clarity, joy, and divine alignment. Imagine a sunrise, its light spreading across a sleeping world, waking it to new possibilities. That's your life, chosen one, ready to shine after seasons of darkness. God's secret is that your dawn is breaking. On September 19th, the light floods in, illuminating paths of purpose, provision, and impact. You're not just stepping into a new day, you're stepping into a new era. You've carried moments of doubt, wondering if your faith was enough, if your prayers mattered. But God's secret is that your faith has moved mountains you haven't seen yet. Matthew 17:20 says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you." On September 19th, those mountains shift, making way for a future filled with God's promises. Think of a lighthouse, its beam cutting through the darkest night, guiding ships to safety. That's your presence, chosen one, a beacon for those lost in the storm. God's secret is that your light is about to shine brighter. On September 19th, your influence grows, drawing others to the hope you carry, showing them what it means to stand firm in God's truth. You've faced moments where the path felt unclear, where trust was your only guide. But God's secret is that every step was leading you to this moment, a divine alignment. Psalm 23:3 says, "He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake." On September 19th, those paths come into focus, guiding you to opportunities, connections, and purposes that feel like home. Picture a tapestry, its threads weaving a story of struggle, faith, and triumph. Your life is that tapestry, and God's the master weaver. The secret he's revealing is that new threads are being added, vibrant, bold, full of promise. On September 19th, the pattern shifts, revealing a design of abundance and purpose that reflects his glory in every part of your journey. You've walked through moments where the world tried to dim your hope, chosen one, where challenges made the future feel uncertain. God's secret, the one he's unveiling now, is that your hope never fragile. It was a flame burning bright in his hands. On September 19th, that flame becomes a blaze, lighting up your path with clarity and purpose. Psalm 39:7 says, "My hope is in you." Your hope is about to meet his promises, transforming your life in ways you never imagined. Picture a river finding its way through a desert, bringing life to barren ground. That's your spirit, chosen one, carrying vitality where others saw only lack. The secret God's sharing is that your presence is a source of renewal. On September 19th, the river flows stronger, nourishing your dreams, relationships, and purpose with an abundance that changes everything it touches. You're not just surviving, you're bringing life to the world. You've faced times when your efforts seemed small, like drops in an endless ocean. But God's secret is that every drop rippled, creating waves you couldn't see. Matthew 13:31 says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, though it is the smallest of all seeds. Yet when it grows, it becomes a large tree." On September 19th, those ripples become a tide, carrying blessings and opportunities that show the power of your faith. Imagine a cornerstone laid in silence, unseen yet holding everything together. That's you, chosen one, a foundation for God's work in the world. The secret he's revealing is that your role is about to be revealed. On September 19th, the structure rises: your purpose, your impact, your legacy built on the unshakable ground of his promises, a testament to his plan for you. You've carried moments of waiting, where progress felt stalled, where answers seemed far. But God's secret is that the waiting was building something eternal, a foundation stronger than time. On September 19th, that foundation holds firm, supporting a life of abundance and clarity. Psalm 130:5 says, "I wait for the Lord, my whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope." Your waiting is turning to receiving, chosen one. Think of a melody rising from silence, each note carrying a story of struggle and triumph. Your life is that melody, crafted by God's hand. The secret he's sharing is that the song is reaching its peak. On September 19th, it echoes, touching hearts, shifting atmospheres, and drawing others to the harmony of your purpose. You're not just a voice, you're a sound that carries God's truth. You've faced moments where the world tried to steal your peace, where chaos pressed in from every side. But God's secret is that your peace is rooted in Him, untouched by the storm. John 16:33 says, "In me you may have peace." On September 19th, that peace becomes a shield, protecting you as you step into a season of joy, provision, and divine alignment. You're not just calm, you're unstoppable. Picture a seed breaking through frozen earth, its strength defying the cold to reach the Sunday. That's your resilience, chosen one, growing where others said you couldn't. God's secret is that your growth is a miracle, rooted in His power. On September 19th, you bloom, your life a vibrant display of purpose and abundance that proves nothing can stop God's plan for you. You've walked through moments where your voice felt unheard, where your story seemed to fade. But God's secret is that your voice was always meant to resonate. On September 19th, it rings out, speaking truth, inspiring hope, and shifting perspectives. Your words, your journey, your faith, they become a force that the world can't ignore, a testimony to God's work in your life. Imagine a bridge spanning a river, its stones laid with care, connecting two distant shores. That's your life, chosen one, linking where you've been to where God's taking you. The secret He's revealing is that the bridge is ready. On September 19th, you cross over, stepping into a season of opportunities, connections, and blessings that align perfectly with His plan. You've carried dreams that felt too big, like they belonged to someone else. But God's secret is that those dreams were His, planted in your heart for this moment. Psalm 37:4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." On September 19th, those desires take shape, becoming realities that reflect His purpose for you. Your dreams are coming alive. Think of a flame in a lantern, glowing steady through the darkest night. That's your faith, chosen one, guiding you even when the path was unclear. God's secret is that this light is about to shine brighter, not just for you, but for others. On September 19th, your lantern becomes a beacon, drawing those lost in darkness to the hope you carry, a sign of God's power in you. You've faced moments where the world tried to define your worth, to limit you with its judgments. But God's secret is that your worth is set by Him, unchanging and eternal. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, God's special possession." On September 19th, you walk in that truth, radiating a confidence that draws others to His love and purpose. Picture a river, its current carving paths through stone, unstoppable in its flow. That's your spirit, chosen one, moving forward despite every obstacle. God's secret is that your flow is about to deepen, carrying you to new places of impact. On September 19th, the river surges, bringing provision, relationships, and opportunities that reflect the strength you've built through every trial. You've carried moments of doubt, wondering if your faith was enough, if your prayers mattered. But God's secret is that your faith has been moving mountains all along. Matthew 17:20 says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you." On September 19th, those mountains shift, making way for a future filled with God's promises and possibilities. Imagine a sunrise, its rays breaking through the night, painting the sky with hope. That's your life, chosen one, ready to shine after seasons of darkness. God's secret is that your dawn is here. On September 19th, the light floods in, illuminating paths of purpose, provision, and joy. You're not just stepping into a new day, you're stepping into a new era, crafted by God. You've walked through moments where the path felt uncertain, where trust was your only guide. But God's secret is that every step was leading you to a divine destination. Psalm 23:3 says, He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. On September 19th, those paths come into focus, guiding you to opportunities, connections, and purposes that feel like home. Think of a tapestry, its threads weaving a story of faith, struggle, and triumph. Your life is that tapestry, and God's the master weaver. The secret he's revealing is that new threads are being added, vibrant, bold, full of promise. On September 19th, the pattern shifts, revealing a design of abundance and purpose that reflects his glory in every part of your journey. You've faced moments where the world tried to steal your joy, where challenges threatened to dim your smile. But God's secret is that your joy is rooted in him, unshaken by the storm. Nehemiah 8:10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." On September 19th, that joy surges, becoming a force that carries you through every trial, a light that draws others to your peace. Picture a seed, small yet mighty, breaking through the earth to reach the sunday. That's your potential, chosen one, ready to grow into something extraordinary. God's secret is that the soil is ready. The time is now. On September 19th, you sprout, your purpose taking shape in ways that surprise even you. Your life becomes a testament to what happens when God calls a seed to life. You've stood in moments where the world felt like a maze, chosen one, where every turn seemed to lead to more questions than answers. God's secret, the one he's unveiling now, is that the maze was never meant to trap you. It was designed to guide you to a clearing. On September 19th, you step out into open ground, where the view is clear, and your purpose shines like a beacon. Psalm 32:8 says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." Your path is lit, and you're walking straight into God's plan. Picture a flame dancing in the wind, steady despite the gusts, its glow untouched by the chaos. That's your faith, chosen one, unwavering through every trial. The secret God's sharing is that this flame is about to ignite a firestorm of blessings. On September 19th, your light spreads, warming hearts, shifting lives, and showing the world what it means to trust in him. You're not just a spark, you're a blaze, carrying God's glory wherever you go. You've carried moments of silence, where God's voice seemed faint, where you wondered if he was near. But his secret is that he was always speaking, guiding you in ways you couldn't yet hear. On September 19th, his voice rings clear, a call to step into the fullness of your calling. Isaiah 30:21 says, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" You're not guessing anymore, you're guided. Imagine a river breaking through a dam, its waters rushing forward with unstoppable force. That's your life, chosen one, ready to overflow after seasons of holding back. God's secret is that the dam is crumbling and his abundance is pouring through. On September 19th, the flood arrives. Provision, opportunities, connections that reshape your world. You're not just flowing, you're transforming everything in your path with God's power. You've faced moments where the world tried to dim your vision, where distractions clouded your focus. But God's secret is that your sight was always meant to pierce the haze. On September 19th, your eyes open to a clarity that cuts through every obstacle. Proverbs 16:9 says, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." Your steps are established, chosen one, leading you to a future filled with purpose and promise. Think of a seed, buried deep, waiting for the moment to break through to sunlight. That's your potential, held in God's hands, ready to grow. The secret he's revealing is that the ground is ready and your time is now. On September 19th, you rise, your dreams sprouting into realities that reflect His glory. Your life becomes a garden of abundance, blooming with purpose, joy, and impact that others can't ignore. You've carried moments of doubt, wondering if your prayers were enough,